What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, please make sure that you are following me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we have to head back on over to the People's Republic of Chicago. Why is that? Because Brandon Johnson is dog whistling that he wants a civil war. And I can't even say he's dog whistling at this point. He's just outright calling for it. And I'm going to show you my proof and evidence of why and how he's doing that. But before we get into this, before we get into the Emperor of the People's Republic of Chicago, I want to start off with a little accountability to lighten up the mood, just a little bit, right? Because we all know the best part of waking up is accountability in your cup. Okay, so let's check this clip out quick right now before we get into what Emperor Brandon Johnson had to say. Look at this here.
How you feel? What's up? Don't look on me again. Step back. Step back. I'm on a public road.
He's not doing anything. You're saying that. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything. No, he's not doing anything.
You need to stand over there.
No, he's not. I'm gonna stand right here. He's not doing anything.
I told you to stand.
I'm gonna stand right here. He's not doing anything.
Let me give you my other hand. Now.
That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Accountability. You gotta love when you're given a direct order from law enforcement. You don't follow that order. And then when you get slapped with a little accountability, the girl that you're running with is hollering, he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. No, he disobeyed a direct order from law enforcement. So he did do something and he found out. Another thing too, before we get into Brandon Johnson, man, this guy here needs a raise. Okay, this guy here needs a raise. This is about the second video that I've seen him in so far. He doesn't wear a mask. He's out here keeping the country safe. And this is the second video that I've seen of him getting into it with one of these anti-ICE rioters, right? Directly. So at this point, they know who this guy is. And when they see him, they turn their cameras on. Now, in a later video, not this one, I'm going to get into, why I think that this guy actually needs some protection at this point. But we're not going to dive too deep into it now. But nonetheless, this guy needs a raise. Because like I said, this is the second video that I've seen him in which he's getting into an altercation with one of these agitators, rioters, dare I say domestic terrorists, and he's handling business every single time. So salute to this man for keeping us in this country safe. But now what I want to do is let's get into Emperor Brandon Johnson of the People's Republic of Chicago, because as far as I'm concerned, he's calling for a civil war. Let's get into this clip next.
That the right wing in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War. I want that to sit in right now, because the President of the United States of America has declared war on the people of Chicago and people across America.
That's right.
He's more.
I can't even let him continue. We'll run it back from the beginning. This guy's an idiot. When I first watched this video, and I only watched it maybe the first 30 seconds of it, so there's still more to watch, about a minute and 30 seconds. What came to my mind immediately is that this guy's dog whistling, right? He's dog whistling for these rioters, domestic terrorists, as far as I'm concerned, to go out and commit acts of violence. But this isn't even dog whistling. When you're saying that right-wing extremists want a rematch of the Civil War, you're telling on yourself. You're saying that you want a civil war, and then you're lying by saying that the president has declared war on us here. That's you calling for the civil war. That's you putting out the green light, saying that it is okay in your eyes, and you will be protected by Brandon Johnson if you go out and commit acts of violence against federal agents. Is this not insurrection talk? Is this not treasonous? That's my question to you all. And I'm curious to what you have to say in the comment section, because that's what this is to me. I find it hilarious, ironic, whatever you want to put on it, that he's putting it on Trump, that he wants a rematch of the Civil War. When, if I have my history correct, it's Brandon Johnson and the Democrats who lost the Civil War in an effort to keep their slaves. And now we fast forward 200 plus years later, and he wants a rematch of the Civil War. Why? So that they can keep their cheap labor. I find it very interesting that he's talking this Civil War talk when they were the ones that lost the Civil War. Only the losers want a rematch. Only the losers want a rematch. The winners don't need a rematch. The losers in Brandon Johnson and the DNC, they're the ones who want a rematch. Now, let me rewind it back just a little bit and we'll take it from the top.
That the right wing in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War. I want that to sit in right now because the President of the United States of America has declared war on the people of Chicago and people across America.
That's right.
He's more interested in giving billions of dollars to other nations while farmers in urban cities around this country are literally being destabilized. And so whether it's the legal system, whether it's through executive order, or whether it's through the brave women and men who are serving as rapid responders. We literally have people who are volunteering in this city, on the southwest side, the northwest side, all over this city to make sure that we're protecting children from being separated from their families.
No one is getting separated from their families. This is one of the greatest lies ever told. I'm not going to go in on this rant. This is a rant that I've done 1,000,001 times, but I guess I'll do it anyways. If I got arrested right now by the police, none of you would care about the fact that I have a 12-year-old son who needs me and that I'm being separated from my son. You would not care. Nobody cares. Crimes have been committed. Illegal immigration is a crime. And that's not to mention the fact that the overwhelming majority of the people that are being arrested aren't even those who simply cross the border illegally, but it's those who have criminal convictions on their record. Criminal illegal aliens. Those are the ones that are actually being arrested and taken away. They get taken away from their families because they committed a crime, but they have the option of being sent back to their home country with their family, because as Tom Homan said, families can be deported together. But I can't take my family to jail with me if I go to jail after committing a crime. And I can't self-deport in any way, shape, form, or fashion in which I'll get a $1,000 stipend. So everything that he's saying here is a false equivalent. It drives me crazy because it goes to show the hypocrisy and the discrimination that's tolerated and that's upheld. Where if the federal government, if federal agents are after me, if the feds want me, local law enforcement can coordinate with the federal government and federal officials, I should say, to come after me. But when it comes to illegal immigrants, it's a no-go. If a criminal illegal alien is arrested for crimes that he's committed in this country while being in the country illegally, and he's then taken into custody and deported, oh my God, it's family separation. But if I commit a crime, as small as the crime could be, and I get sent to jail, these same people don't care. Kiss my behind, man. I really want to say something else, but kiss my behind. Kiss my behind. That infuriates me. That infuriates me.
And we're talking about volunteers who are literally putting themselves at risk of being shot and killed by the federal government. And so whether it's the legal system, whether it's our continuous struggle for liberation through organizing, and whether it's through executive action or whether it's through law, it would be nice if we actually had lawmakers in Washington that would actually hold this president accountable. And if they won't do it, then the city of Chicago will, using every single tool that's available to us.
This man, I know this gets thrown around so much and people say this all the time about everybody. There's nothing that will make me more happy than to see him in jail. This is insurrection talk. This is treasonous what he's doing. There is nothing more treasonous than what he's doing right now. And he's making it a point to make himself the figurehead of an insurrection, of civil war. You're calling for it. He's calling for it. You're hearing this with your own ears, but then he's trying to spin it around and say that this is what right-wingers are doing. No, that's what you want, and that's what you're calling for. And if you end up getting held accountable, you're going to cry racism. But no, you should cry stupid instead, because that's what you are. You're an idiot, a useful idiot. And now let's carry on into why he's such an idiot, right? Brandon Johnson signed another do nothing executive order, pretending like he's doing something in the city of Chicago. Let's take a moment to watch this clip here. Look at this here. This guy's a moron.
Today, we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
For the umpteenth time, ladies and gentlemen, states cannot dictate what the federal government does. The federal government and or ICE does not legally have to abide by this. They do not. They can do what they want. If they want to stage their operation in a city-owned parking lot, they can do it if that's what they want to do. The federal government has supremacy over states. There is no executive order that this moron can sign that the federal government has to oblige. Not one. So this is another nonsense do nothing executive order. And this is the third one like this that he signed, where he's pretending to be standing up and fighting for the people of Chicago when he's actually working against them every single day that he's mayor. He is constantly grandstanding with these do nothing executive orders, pretending to do something when he's not doing anything at all, especially running the city, because we all know he's not doing that. So he's not running the city. He's on television signing do nothing executive orders. This guy is unbelievably incompetent. You don't even see Mayor Karen Bass out of Los Angeles grandstanding like this as it pertains to ICE. You don't even see her doing this. So not only is he unbelievably incompetent, but he's also very dangerous. This man is dangerous, and I am going to say that, because when you're lying and you're saying that the president of the United States has waged war on the city, and you're lying, saying that you may be shot by federal agents, and you're lying, saying that the right wing wants a rematch of the Civil War, when it's clearly you, the Democrat, who does, because you're the one who lost the Civil War, you are now creating an environment not only of fear, but an environment of violence. And that's what we see happening in Chicago, is an environment of violence that has been created by Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker. And I'll just leave it there. With all that being said, that does it for today's news. So please hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Share this video on your social media platforms. And please do not forget to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. The link to my Telegrams in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time. And until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.